To create a UI element in Unity, right click on the hierarchy, select UI, and then select the UI element you would prefer. For now, I'm going to select text, and then Unity will generate a canvas, the chosen UI element. In our case, we've chosen text, and an event system. Ignore this event system right here. We're just going to focus on canvas and the text. So in the scene view, press F to focus on it, and there we go. We have our text right here. I'm just going to zoom out, and here is our canvas right here. And all I'm going to do to the text is I'm just going to center it on the X and the Y. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see if it works in game. And it does. You can see new text display. Okay, so I'm just going to change the text to you win. The font, I'm just going to leave it at Arial. The font style, I'm going to change it to bold. The font size, I'm going to change it to 27. The alignment, I'm going to change it to the center. And that looks pretty good. Now, what we want to do in this episode is whenever we trigger the cube at the end of the level, rather than writing a message in the console, we want to trigger this UI text right here. Now, what we actually want to do is, rather than writing you win in this text box, we want to keep it empty for now. And I'll show you why. Right, so in our my first script here, what we want to do is take that UI text element, and then whenever we collide with the cube, it will enter the lines you win. Now, to do that, we need to declare a variable. Now, what is a variable? Now, a variable is a container that can store different types of information. So an integer, for example, so a whole number, a float, so decimal numbers, a string, so lines of text. This is considered to be a string, anything that's surrounded by quotation marks. There's also arrays, which is another word for like a list. Boolean, so true or false. There's many different data types out there, but the one we're going to use in this episode is the UI text data type. Now, how do we declare a variable? Well, it's simple. First of all, you got to decide whether it's going to be public or private. Public meaning it will show up in the inspector, private meaning it won't. I want it to show up in the inspector, so I'm going to write public. And then you write the type of variable. We want it to be Unity's UI text, so we write text with a capital T. And then you've got to write the name of the variable. I'm going to write win text. You can call it whatever you like. And then end it with a semicolon. And that's it. Now, we've declared our variable, but we haven't assigned a value to it. So, if we go into the inspector, oh, I've got an error. Let's read it. The type or namespace name text could not be found. Ah, I know what I've done. The text data type right here is actually from a different library. Now, Unity by default gives you 3 different libraries to play around with. The system.collections, the system.collections.generic, and the Unity engine library. Now, the text data type is not from any of these libraries right here. It's actually from the Unity Engine UI library. So, to declare a library, all you gotta do is write using unityengine.ui. And there we go. Now it should work and not give us any errors. There we go. Perfect. In the finished cube right here, we can see our variable winText display here and a little box where we can place our text there. All you've got to do is drag the text element into the text box right here, and there we go. Now, in the onTriggerEnter method, rather than displaying a message to the console, all you got to do is write winText.text text equal to you win, semicolon to end it, save. And now whenever we collide with the cube at the end of the level, it will display, I've got a message. I'll read that later. Anyway, so as I was saying, whenever you collide with the finished cube, it will display the message, you win, in the canvas. Okay, so let's play. And now let's complete our level. Let's walk into our cube. And there you go. It's working. It's amazing. You can see you win on screen. It's the best game that anyone has played. Slight problem. So not everyone has the Unity engine installed on their system. They just want a simple exe file or app file or whatever file there is out there that can run on people's systems. So in the next episode, we're going to talk about building and exporting your game. So I'll see you then.